Hi, I'm Peter D'Elia. Um, I came to Berlin because I had been traveling with two friends while I still lived in San Francisco, um, and we played funny, bluegrassy versions of cover songs and some original songs too. We were introduced to the Bees, and they invited us to play at a show, and they enjoyed it, and so they invited us to play at a festival after that in the south of Germany. So we weren't expecting that at all. We each got our own hotel, and they paid us, and it was like this nice little added thing. It was just something that happened while we traveled in 2003. And 2 years later, the Bees needed someone. I always had part-time jobs in San Francisco. Before the school, I worked at a restaurant.
Yeah, okay.
And part-time, it was just, so I was always doing music. And it wasn't always the, acoustic thing like that bluegrass trio. I like a lot of electronic music too, and I was in a band where it was all improvised, and we were doing live, it's basically doing electronic music, but live.
Wow.
So, I do miss that. I've done trying to get that going a bit here, and playing bass, for example. I was practicing with someone, and it was starting to get going, doing kind of a live dubstep, live drum and bass thing, but then everybody got too busy. So I'd really like to do that. And when you and I saw that duo from Dublin the other day, it made me really wish that I was, getting that going a bit.
But you say that you also listen to electronic music and that you like playing that, and Berlin is a very
right?
techno and electro-oriented place. Do you think that the desire you have to have that comes from being in Berlin as well and being constantly around electro and techno?
Actually not, just because I've been interested in electronic music for a long time. I think I'm just lucky that I like so many different kinds of music. It probably has affected me more than I think. Like, I have to rethink my question of what you asked about. Would I be? Do I have that wish to do the electronic thing because it's around me all the time? It probably is affecting me more than I think. If I was in Brazil, for example, I'd probably want to be doing something more along the lines of that music, because it would make sense to me.
And the bands you're in right now and the bands you have been in, you got asked to play in them, all of them? Or did you start a band yourself?
That's a really good question. I've never really started a band myself. That would be something I'd like to do. I think it would be really good for me to finally start my own thing, and do that dubstep thing I want to do, or I'd have to just take it on myself to be, this is what I want to do, and do you want to do this, instead of always kind of going along with someone else's idea. It would be good for me to either that or performing songs alone, which
But these things about playing alone, and that you kind of want to do that, but you haven't really been doing it. I kind of sense that you want to do it, but you're maybe scared or hesitant to take the first step.
Yep.
Do you think you're hiding when you're playing in bands? Not necessarily to run away, because obviously you like it, but do you think that kind of gives you a certain satisfaction that you won't miss playing alone that much?
I suppose. I mean, it is. Yeah, it's easier to be on stage with other people. I think any actor will tell you also.
But what is the fear then? What is the feeling of that you're nervous? Where does that come from?
I think it's just knowing, like, you are completely responsible for the show, for the entertainment. It's complete 100% responsibility, and guess I'm not the most responsible person in the world.
Could you live without music?
No, I couldn't live without music, no.